All right, now forget the reminder. Let's just get to it. Should be ready to go right now. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, man. I had to do all types of resets and push. I don't know what was going on with Restream. I don't know. I have no idea. Trying to get this new setup since I've been kind of out of the loop from working on this for a while. I have to reset it quite a bit. Now, when I got GRG set up, it's fine. But when I'm trying to do like solo videos, doing them live, compared to what I was doing with just kind of pre-record them and whatever, completely different. But anyway, can you hear me? What's going on with you, crooks? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? But I hope you guys can hear me. Should be everything should be working. What's going on? Sorry about the technical difficulties. What's going on? All right, excellent. All right, so anyway, what's going on? K Mega 405 here, coming to you live from the 405, where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers. Now, I made a video a long time ago, probably maybe late 2016, maybe early 2017. It's been a while, but it was definitely in the era of when Xbox was just getting completely just smashed from everything. Everything, it didn't matter what they did. It doesn't matter what games came out. They constantly was going to get bashed. They constantly was going to get destroyed. Regardless. Didn't matter what it was. Didn't matter if the game was good. If the game, the whole perception of everything with that was pertaining around Xbox was just labeled as just a failure to a lot of people. Media, definitely from stands, but from even from Xbox fans themselves, even the flip floppers that we see now, that's proclaiming Sony is the best thing ever. Now, what? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. There's nothing wrong with enjoying something more than something else that you may previously enjoyed. There's nothing wrong with that. But of course, we've seen people constantly just berate not only the console and its games and the gamers that play on them, but then they started to berate and talk down to the staff. You know, to Aaron Greenberg, to Phil Spencer, to Shannon Loftus, to all these people that work there. From and it's really sad, man. It was really sad. But in that video that I made years ago, once it was made clear that Phil Spencer was took over, and now it was his time to start making the lead. I told Xbox gamers, I told all gamers out there that I stood by it. I thought that it was the perfect move, that Phil Spencer was going to definitely take Xbox into a better direction from where they were previously at. And all Phil Spencer needed was some time. That's it. That's it. I said, just be patient. PlayStation fans are some of the most patient, because at the time there was games that had been shown from the very beginning on E3 stage for PlayStation, and those games still weren't out yet. And then there was games that they just showed that still weren't out yet. PlayStation fans were still talking about those games, excited about when they first seen Death Stranding in 2015 and other titles out there. Just said, be patient. It will be a time when Xbox will I should say Xbox, when Phil Spencer will make his stand, will make everybody's decision making about him turn a face, just be completely different, be a complete 360. But what do we get? Nah, we got nothing but people. He was soft. We had people call him dumb, which was absolutely ridiculous. We had people that get upset because of Quantum Break uh, becoming a so-called quote unquote multi-plat, which it really technically isn't. I mean, I guess if you want to use it for stupid terms like people do for these narratives, but putting in the game on PC, then it just supposed to have been an absolute fail. People said that they were going to cancel their pre-orders for Quantum Break, trash the game just because a lot of people didn't even play the game. But we got people now today that talks about The Last of Us 2, and everybody pretty much knows about the story of The Last of Us 2, but they claim that you cannot talk about that game because you did not play it. You know what? We got to keep the same energy, right? But I told everybody to keep that faith into Phil Spencer. I had plenty of faith in what this man could do. He's he's a gamer. He understands. He's listening, and he listened to the Xbox gamers at first when they talked about other things that they wanted to keep games and to start working on third-party deals and start working on other things. And then all of a sudden, the Xbox gamers themselves changed the narrative on the Xbox staff. You guys don't remember because everybody wanted at the time was believing that how Sony was dominating was because of their second and third party, and they wanted Xbox to do the same thing. So Xbox started to start working more and more like that, started kind of gliding over, and then the Xbox fan base was saying that wasn't good enough. So then Phil made the different decisions and trying to do the best that he can for what he did, and then here comes the Series X. The S came first, then the Series X. People got hype. And then, of course, the situation that happened with the Scalebound and all the rest of that stuff. We know that. We've heard it a million times, right? Still, when they talked about Sea of Thieves, they talked about State of Decay, they talked about Crackdown 3, they talked about all these games that was coming out that didn't have that quote unquote double A, triple A banger. Hmm. Those people are still playing those games today, and those triple A bangers, they're talked about for previous things, but nobody ain't really playing those games unless they're just now buying them for like $10. They're on sale. Then those games are not don't have the same type of retail value as what a Sea of Thieves is. Sea of Thieves is $60 on Steam, and it's number one. It's killing it right now. I made that point years ago. The Sea of Thieves would be that sensation. It'd be once it hits PC, it was going to be crazy. What up with you, the Blue? What up with you, Bounty? But all of this said, right? The thing about this that why I'm making this video and bringing up that point from back then is now we're looking at what Phil Spencer has done and what he's about to do and what he could potentially be doing, and he's going to make everybody again have to eat crow. Because even if this isn't going to happen with the WB Games situation, the fact that Phil Spencer and the team has made the call to WB Games to try to acquire them, has serious interest in wanting to acquire these studios, lets you know all we had to do was be patient. These things don't happen overnight. The games were always coming. We knew it. There's people that try to rush the whole situation while they let Nintendo do what they want to do, take as much time. They can show something and you won't see it for about 5 or 6 years, or they won't even show you anything. They won't even tease you, but people will still make their assumption. And once they see that game, they're jumping up for joy. Look at what they did with Smash Brothers, and you've seen all of those crazy, which I enjoyed that. You got to admire people having joy and love for seeing those games that they've been waiting and anticipating. You see Sony, the wait for The Last of Us 2, and then when it finally got out there, and regardless if you like the story or if you don't, it still came, but it came 7 years later. But that's all they talked about. The whole 7 years was about The Last of Us, the second Last of Us game. Patience. Why is it that Xbox fans cannot be patient and just wait until the times? If we want these big games, we had to wait for them. They weren't going to just pop out of nowhere. Just wasn't going to happen. And now the 23rd, we're going to see what Phil Spencer is all about. And again, like I made that video all those years ago, I'm saying it right now. I still have total faith, total faith, total faith in Phil Spencer and turning around the Xbox division. And really, if you think about it, if you look back at the Xbox One, once it's all said and done, no. Was it better than its predecessors? No. In the sense of features and what they offered, yes. But when it came to the variety of games, no, it just wasn't. And that's why I've also said about it makes me a little nervous about what Sony's going to go through because of all this turnaround. I ain't changed my stance on that. There's a lot of things that Sony show was cool, but it wasn't like all that. And then we're hearing that Sony is still holding back a couple of first party and third party games. Okay, that's cool. Why do you think they did that? Because they know what's coming. They know what's coming. PlayStation fans know what's coming. Nintendo fans knows what's coming. PC games knows what's coming. Like I said, in Phil we trust. I I made this stance and I'll stay by it and I will stay by it until after the 23rd and then everybody will and then once the stands will get the least best looking games and wrap them together and say the other show was trash. We will all know that Phil Spencer was not playing any games. He's here to win it. Now, this is another thing that has me excited. It's because, like I said, this is potentially it might not happen because of the fact of there's Activision, there's 2K games, there's also I believe EA. That's all in the hunt to try to get WB games. Activision is probably maybe first on the list if it comes to the situation of money because I have to give a shout out to my boy Cali Rex. He also made a point about how Tencent, which Tencent is huge, massive. They have a lot of bread and they have a lot of clout to try to a lot of appeal to try to get those games out there to the Asian audience all across that region. I believe in China and all of that. Tencent is deep, huge, just massive, and they keep acquiring. As a matter of fact, they acquired another studio not too long ago. I think it was Platinum Games, I believe, wasn't it? And I believe they acquired someone else. So they're a big player, and if they're working with Activision, that's very attractive. That's very lucrative, and they got the capital. But there's something that I want to show you guys too. I wanted to let you see this. I just got this report. Big shout out to my boy Thomas Franks. Uh, boom. Look at this. I posted it earlier. Um, Let me see. Hopefully you guys can see it. I don't know if y'all can see it. Oh, there you go. Okay, I forgot. There's a delay. Um, it's from an article. I posted the article as well when I posted the tweet. This is showing you the worth of what Xbox is. Xbox. Everybody keep thinking that Xbox is going away. As of July 2020, the net worth of Xbox is $600 billion. Xbox increasing its customer base day by day, and then of course the head of the company is Phil Spencer. Look at that. Think about that a second. $600 billion. Now, of course, that's not revenue. I think revenue is maybe around 15, between 15 and 20, somewhere around there. That's still incredible for a company that is what they say, quote unquote, third place, has no games, has no exclusives. Nobody wants their stuff, but they're worth 600 billion bucks. 600 billion. That's right, Kunistina. Thank you. They're funding platinum. You're right. But they did make an requirement. I just don't remember what the requirement, what the studio that they picked up was. Because I read that last week. There's so many things been running through my mind, and of course, I've been streaming like crazy. I was like, man, this is wild. When you got some time off, man, just a game, boy. I just tell you, I'm just letting it all go like a big ass kid. Um, but they got plenty of capital. That's the one point. And as long as the head of Microsoft is behind Phil Spencer, and you got to give a big shout out to Phil again. He goes up at the time where the new head of Microsoft was right with everybody else that wanted Xbox to be gone. That was in charge. That was over Phil. Phil goes in there once he gets his spot, and he's like, "Look, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. No holding back, balls to the wall. Let's go. If you're gonna let it go, then let it go. But I mean, if there should be no half stepping. We need to go ahead and rep the fans, rep the gamers, and show what what it's about, and just bring it all together. And I guess if it don't work, then it don't work. But let's get the funding to let this roll. And now look at what's happening. Potentially, now again, I wish this was a video just saying this is actually happening. But this is just potential, just the potential, just to see, because we never got that back then in 2016 or 2017. We never got any information like that. Anything. We were begging for this type of information. But just to know that they showed interest, that Phil Spencer made the call. And there's some other good tidbits about this too. I was just talking to my boy 108 Dragons right before I was getting ready to start the video, and there was something that he brought to my attention is that NetherRealm Games, that Ed Boon and them owns Mortal Kombat, not AT&T. Once they did that split off between Midway Games and then the other guy was named Tobias, and then you had Ed Boon. From my understanding, from what 108 told me, was that they went ahead and they bought the rights to Mortal Kombat. That's their baby. That's their property. And then it got to a situation between, I guess, Ed Boon and Tobias, and then I guess that then they split off, and then Ed Boon bought out Tobias, and now it's just all just Ed Boon's baby. So just think about this for a second. If Xbox does acquire them, they're going to get Mortal Kombat. Now, again, don't get your hopes up high thinking that Mortal Kombat is going to be an exclusive to Xbox, because in a business sense you would look at Mortal Kombat just like you would Minecraft or a couple of other games. But what would be the determining factor that would still bring so many people over to Xbox is Game Pass. Something that a lot of gamers has been out here clamoring about for the last couple of years, talking about it was the welfare program of gaming. Oh, you have to buy your games, you have to do this, and then just a couple of days ago, everybody started complaining, whining, and crying because of 10 extra dollars for a game. I bet you they wishing that they had over there on that side some welfare gaming. Don't you think? Don't you think? Don't you think for a second, guys? Don't you think that they're over here when they seen that NBA 2K21 was going to be $10 more, that they weren't out here like, damn man, boy, PlayStation now, man, boy, I'm ready for them SSDs, but Lord, I mean, I wish we could just get some kind of program like Xbox does, but they ain't saying that out loud. But I guarantee you, if PlayStation allowed some kind of program on PlayStation now to come out to be just like Game Pass, come on, man. We ain't even got to ask, man. We ain't even got to, you know what I'm saying? This ain't even no reason to make this up. They don't need to make this up. Ain't no need to make this up. Now I'm gonna go back to this. Well, I'll just leave it right here for a minute. Just let people see that. There's no need to just sit here and just think about it. It's just the truth. A lot of these people be wolfing tickets, man. They just be talking, man. They're frauding the public. They know that Game Pass, if this was reversed, I'm not even gonna front. I'm gonna tell you, look, Xbox is tripping. What is happening? They need to get some kind of system like this before. If Nintendo was doing this, I'm like, man, they're tripping. This is this is going to kill the game, and more people would drive. It would drive more people, especially the casual gamer, over there because of how everything is right now. 2020 has been all jacked up, and the fact that some people out here they got more better things to take care of. But if you can sit here and pay that $1 for that first month, and then you know that you can go ahead and pay the rest of it in payments, or if you get the bread to go ahead and have it for the whole rest of the year, you don't think people are not going to do it? Come on, man. But to my point, Mortal Kombat be day one on Game Pass. How many people? That's not a console seller, because if you buy a console, you know what I'm saying. If you buy a console, what up, Dragon Yobi? What's up? What you say? He said people are cheap. He said people are cheap bastards. He says don't even want to spend $1 for a month of GPU. He says or gold for that matter. I've spoken with these people. That's what I'm saying. Like I've spoken with these people too, man. I'm like, I have a homeboy that's really frugal. He got a lot of money. He's got a lot of money. He owns multiple homes. He got two badass cars. He living life fantastic. But if you saw him, well, not saw him because he always dressed down. But if you go like to his crib or something, like it would be this. It's hot, like it's 105 degrees out here, right? And you go to his house, man. He had the windows with fans in the windows because he don't want to until after the peak hours for the electric bill because he don't want his electric bill to be a certain price. And when I told him about Game Pass, he was like, "Man, come on, man, you tripping? Man, they ain't gonna have no games on there." Next thing you know, he hit me up. He says, "Man, hey man, I signed up for that stuff, man. It was $1. He's like, I was like, why not? And so next thing you know, I bought 2 years of it. I'm like, see, see, that's how they get you. So if Xbox go and acquires WB games, and some of those games will definitely be multiplat. There's no way around that. Mortal Kombat cannot be an exclusive. If it is, then that is a very ballsy move from Phil Spencer. But I mean, is it the right move? Absolutely. I mean, Xbox PC, then that really puts a cram on PlayStation. But I just don't see Phil being like that with Mortal Kombat. And um I don't see Ed Boon want to take away from the PlayStation gamers or from the for Nintendo gamers or whatever. So I think Mortal Kombat would definitely be would be that game that would be all over the place, but it would be day one on Game Pass. But a game that I do see that's being exclusive to Xbox would be a game made for Monolith. Now it probably wouldn't be another Shadow of War. It could, I wish, but or something like that. And that's the last thing that a lot of people ain't talking about because everybody's talking about Batman, which Batman is would be fantastic, of course. And then of course you can look at that and say, uh, yeah, yeah, JA. You know what I'm saying? Xbox, PC, X Cloud. Like, bro, that was going to be my next point talking about X Cloud as well. But Batman, I don't know. I would think that you would make you. I would say that you could make it exclusive. The the competitive side in me, if I was sitting in that chair, I'd be like, yeah, no, that's exclusive. Just like Spider-Man is exclusive, Batman's exclusive. That's a console seller right off the bat. Injustice, I don't know because Warner Brothers still owns the rights to DC, and so that would have to be some crazy negotiations. So I have no idea how that would work. I mean, that would be fantastic. Of course, uh, you wouldn't want anybody else to work on that. So that would definitely be another multiplat. But if that's a day, if, you know what I'm saying, if Injustice 3 becomes a day one on Game Pass, you don't think people are going to not pick up an Xbox? And if the Series X is following the rumors of being cheaper than the PlayStation 5 or on par with the PlayStation 5, and then this Lockhart's going to be significantly cheaper than anything else. I mean, what there's it's checkmate. It's over. I mean, if you look at potentially right now with all the studios that Xbox has right now, just with what they have, and every studio is working on next gen games, that's good enough right there. Especially if they have, I mean, there's still a couple of more things that needs to be touched on, like a like a Japanese studio, or of course, uh, a studio like like a new studio for Killer Instinct, of course, because I'm a fighting fan. But a Japanese studio seems to be that one main missing piece for Xbox with everything else that they have with their diverse lineup. If they add WB games on top of everything they have, then we're talking about what? 20 some studios. They don't even really have to worry about a second party anymore. And if you look at how the second party treated Microsoft this gen, I wouldn't even want to deal with second party in the first place. It's only third party, first party. That's it. Lock it down. What's up, Thomas Franks? Appreciate it, brother. What's happening? What's happening? I just shouted you out for the article that you showed me that I just put right there about the net worth for Xbox. it would just be the one thing is just having all of those studios wrapped up, and and of course there wouldn't be every dev that would probably come over. There would want to probably be some to go to be independent. They would probably go to other studios somewhere else. But yeah, that's a lot of talent out there. That is a lot of talent. And then you also have the access to have so many gamers have the chance to play on Xbox. And now for my point that my boy JA brought up, XCloud, which is also another game changer. Which if you think about that, that's going into more hands than Game Pass. People will start playing these games on their phone, tablets, whatever. And then you got Batman, you have the developer, you have Monolith, you got NetherRealm, you got all these others that's available. Are you kidding me? That's a win, period. No matter how you want to slice it. And Xbox can pick and choose which one that could be exclusive to Xbox and not have to worry about not worry about having to have all those properties being going over just being multiplat. Because the whole thing, big shout out to the guy from Playground Games that completely just destroyed the whole narrative by saying, look, Xbox, it's an Xbox game. It's going over. It's Xbox and PC is together. Xbox and Microsoft is PC. Xbox is all is one. It's the same thing. It's the same entity. So kill that noise about it's a multiplat. It's this. It's that. Because I don't see these PlayStation fans out here, excuse me, stands. The PlayStation stands going out here trying to talk about they're changing the goalposts again, talking about oh no, that's Horizon Zero Dawn's a 3-year old game. Well, Death Stranding ain't even been out a year and it's already on PC. It's coming out on PC this month, isn't it? It ain't been a year. So what's the excuse about that? And then what's going to happen when God of War comes over? And then what's going to happen when Days Gone goes over? And then what's going to happen when Spider-Man goes to PC? What do you think is going to happen then? You know what I'm saying? Infernal Lock, what's up with you? He said, what up? By the way, that's my account on Twitter. I messaged you for. Oh, okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Hey, man, y'all incognito, man. Y'all hit me up with all different types of names. Sometimes I got to be looking a little suspicious, like, hey, what's going on? What's up with you, the blue? He said, K Mega, what you think about Crossfire X? I think Crossfire X is cool. I mean, it's not something that's going to sell a console or nothing. Um, it's not definitely going to be for everybody because people have this already feel for COD or Battlefield or for Fortnite or whatever, all these other different type of shooters, and this plays more like the old school PC games. I can't think of the name of that game. My homeboy used to play it all the time. Rest in peace, Freddie B. Um, that used to be his game. Matter of fact, that game used to come on the OG Xbox, and that's what turned him on to the OG Xbox was that PC shooter. But it plays just like that. If you turn down the sensitivity to 40, I felt like it played fine. But I like it. I mean, that's something I definitely play with some people. I mean, I don't, of course, I like only just the modern mode. The other mode only played once. I need to have a team with that. But yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that game at all. I am intrigued on the story though, from uh from Remedy, and you know how much I love Remedy's work. So I can see that game going way left, but being pretty dope. So yeah, no, I'm intrigued on it. I'm definitely intrigued for that game. Um, great ones. He says, that's a lot of money not to get the DC games. Spend $2 to $3 billion. I want more than Mortal Kombat and Legos, bro. Like I said, you guys are slipping on Monolith. There may be a lot of people who've not played Shadow of War or Shadow of Mordor, but if you have, the one thing that is the most awesome, and then it's also a rumor that they will use that Nemesis engine to be put on Batman on this new Batman game that's coming. Just think about that Nemesis system going on all different types of Xbox games. That right there is damn near the price of admission to get that Nemesis system is on top of ML learning, well that machine learning, which is the ML from Microsoft, on top of everything else that Xbox is having crammed up into this new box. Bro, a Nemesis system, and you can play it and just think about playing on the new Halo or man, whatever else that they got come on a new Fable, bruh, bruh, come on. Like Monolith is that's up there with me with the team who makes with Rocksteady. That to me really their games are hot. You know what I'm saying? And then of course they would have the financial backing. Man, I don't know. I mean, I understand your point when it comes to like, yeah, you want to get those IPs, but if they could just get the studios, they can make. Then this is what something else that trips me out, right? Okay, with some of you guys, and then this is not slated to you in a negative way, but this is just my point. I did a poll, and I said, which would you rather see? And now I know this was just one particular game, but I said Fable. No, I said Perfect Dark or a new IP. The new IP just smashed Fable, even though Fable is definitely coming, and a lot of people are going to be stoked if they see Fable. The thing here is that if Xbox can't get those IPs, except for maybe one or two, then that's going to be new IPs that these studios are going to start working on. So I don't see how that could be a problem. It's a win-win either way because you have the talent from those studios to work on new IPs or work on the IPs that they already have. It's a win-win. There is no there whoever gets them. I mean, I know it because I'm primarily talking about Xbox, but whoever gets get those studios, they're going to kill it. They're going to kill it. I just hope that Activision, personally, I think Activision has the worst practices. That's just me. But then another point that I also want to make too is this. There's a tie into this as well. Um, when Mortal Kombat was with Midway Games, there was a relationship between Adam Boyes and of course the people from NetherRealm and then everybody else who's worked at Midway. But there was also another person that was involved in there too, and I want to know if you guys know who that is. All right, I'll just say it. Matt Booty. Matt Booty could be the one thing that can make this all work for Xbox. Because they had a relationship with Phil Spencer, but it was Adam Boyes and Matt Booty, and Matt Booty was in a situation where that I think he was in charge in some states, in some situations, and everybody liked what he did. Like he was really thorough, and that's actually what got Phil Spencer to bring him over from Square Enix from working on the Tomb Raider series because he's so efficient at what he does. And so he had those tight relationships with the other people, the other studios that worked on other games, including NetherRealm. That might be the one. That might be the thing because WB, because this was what tripped me out too. I was reading this uh, at the time in 2009. Midway went for Chapter 11, and they sold to WB Games for 30. Well, to WB or to AT&T for $33 million. That's crazy. How much money that those studios have what kind of that's crazy growth comparing to buying it for 33 million and now trying to sell it for anywhere from 2 to 4 billion. That's a lot of bread. But that's a lot of great growth within all those games that they have. But Matt Booty could be the key. That's why I'm excited about this. And that's why we also have to look at this as a situation where um, you have to give credit to Phil Spencer because he's got the right people in the right place at the right time. Nobody knew that this was coming. This just came out of nowhere. And like I said, it's a potential, but just for the fact that Xbox is making this move, just let me ask you this question: if Phil Spencer weren't there and this was somebody else, um, do you think Xbox would have went after, would have been even mentioned of trying to talk to anybody from WB or AT&T? No, no, not whatsoever. They wouldn't even care. Wouldn't even care. That just lets you know that Phil Spencer is listening. That's gonna let all the haters know that Phil Spencer has been working. And in the 23rd, we're gonna really see Phil Spencer's work. Now, granted, let's say that it it doesn't live up to the expectations. Then we have to speak out on that. But I doubt it highly seriously. I doubt it highly, highly seriously. I think Phil's been sitting on this, he's been waiting, and he's ready to go. And he's ready to go. And if they pick up Looper and the other studio that's with uh, the studio that just picked up the studio that's doing Medium, then and then you pick up WB Games, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, I'll tell you this right now. If for me, and I don't, and you can let me know what your thoughts is. I'm about to get off here in a minute, but you gotta let me know. But for me, all I need to see is NetherRealm being the new studio for Killer Instinct, and then my dream will come true. Killer Instinct versus Mortal Kombat. You mean you don't think that game is going with? Can you imagine what Killer Instinct would look like for one? Can you imagine what Killer Instinct what its story would be with the staff that's worked on Killer Instinct, and then they collaborate with Ed Boon and their staff over there with it? That would be a monster studio for fighters, for fighting fans. Huge, huge, huge. But I mean, we can find out here at the end of the week that Activision or 2K Games got them, and now suck. But for right now, at this moment, I'm pretty excited. Now I don't know what's going to happen, and even if let's say that there's a way that things can get split off, right? Um, and then they could get a couple of IPs from them. Let's just say that there's some deals, but I don't think AT&T wants to do that. I think look, it's here. We want to just give it all to you. You take care of it. You do what you want to. But there's also another couple of factors too. I just came to my mind. My boy Predator, he made a point and said, look, think about this. When big businesses start making big acquisitions of anything, they they liquidate stuff. They take out the little stuff, and people don't sometimes notice it for them to make a different acquisition. Look what they just did all of a sudden, which nobody really watch. Nobody understood why did they do it. Mixer for one, which it pissed me off, of course, because I mean I love Mixer, but Mixer's done, and I've got to start over on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? But I'm appreciative for the people that I've got over there on Twitch, for the followers I have on Twitch. So hey, for the people that's listening, if you haven't followed me over there, yeah, shameless plug. Go ahead, and follow me, KMega405 on Twitch. I'll be greatly appreciated. Um, but it's business. I totally understood it. It sucked, yes. It was short notice, yes. We talked about it on GRG, the reasoning behind a lot of stuff, the negative press, all of that, right? But then also, what was the most unusual out of the things that Microsoft dropped was the Microsoft stores. Like they didn't. They, I mean, I understood the reason. I mean, we understood. Like, I mean, the era of stores of stores are not are not the same. People aren't, and especially with the whole pandemic and all this other stuff. We understand it, but that just came out of nowhere. But shout out to Pred because that gives me another idea. That gives me a thought process of like, look, Xbox is trying to make a move on something, or Microsoft as well. Another factor too, um, I think that also could attract Xbox, I mean, WB or those studios is the Azure, is a service, is the accounts, is the I mean, some of the best net codes you can get in fighting what is in Killer Instinct, some of the best net codes you can get in shooters. Come on, man, like Halo runs fantastic. Every once in a while, Halo 5 gets a little blip or two. You can tell that they're working on something else on certain things. I mean, Halo 5 is 5 years old and you get a blip or two every once in a while. But I mean, for the most part, it runs fantastic. It runs solid. Gears runs solid, fantastic. I mean, rest in peace, uh, Trackdown 3 multiplayer. But when it worked fantastic. State of Decay. Other than the bugs that it has, the game works fantastic. Sea of Thieves, golly, Sea of Thieves has no problems, very little hitches. I'm sure that people can show something of. I mean, there's always human error somewhere, but I'm internet wise, all those games run flawlessly. And then when you look and think about XCloud as well and how well XCloud works, and they're not even finished with the kinks and stuff with that. That could be that could be another factor as well. So if you add Matt Booty, you add the fact that Xbox is over here trimming the fat to try to save some little money because they may be thinking about making a big move, a big acquisition. Then also the fact that there's relationships, there's the Azure servers, then there's Game Pass. There's a lot of factors that can go positive in Xbox way. It really is, really is. Um, but again, we'll find out. But I am very proud. I'm very proud of the fact that Phil Spencer just is doing this for the gamers. He's doing it for also for his to increase and keep his status in his position. I mean, because I mean, to get all of these studios, that's a lot of studios. I don't even know if they would hold on to all those studios. They could probably get rid of some of those studios as well. But if they acquired them all, they don't have to. I mean, that whole narrative of Xbox having no games, even now on top of with the studios that they have, that's Benito Clayton's gone out of here. So I don't know, man. Um, I don't know. That's it, man. I'm finna go ahead. I talked my head off a little bit long. I appreciate the see. I want to say embers because I'm so used to seeing embers, and now on Twitch it's called bits. But here on the super chat, thank you for the super chat, guys. Really appreciate you guys coming and checking me out. I'll definitely have another video coming soon. As long as I can get it together and figure out which way I want to try to work with this stupid little YouTube studio thing. But other than that, I'll definitely make another video. Thank you guys. See y'all here soon, and then definitely check us out on GRG Friday night and on the next podcast that's coming up Saturday, man. Everybody have a good one. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace.